Hello everyone, I'm interested in etymology, not entomology, etymology. I've taken a little bit of ancient Greek and Latin, and I always found it interesting to know where our words come from. Sometimes words stump me, like I'll use a word and then be like, I wonder where that word comes from. I wonder why that word is called that word. And that happened to me the other day with the word chèvre. AKA goat cheese. Whenever I hear a word and I'm not sure where it comes from, I like to think of other similar words, and the word Chevron popped into my head, or Chevron. Chevron is really the gas station, the gas company. That's how we would say it, Chevron. But the thing, like the carrot, the thing that goes on the, yeah, that really would be pronounced Chevron, right? Before I do this whole video saying it wrong, let me just double check.
Chevron. Chevron.
Chevron. Okay, good. Now we can proceed. So I was sitting here thinking, okay, what on earth does chèvre goat cheese have to do with chevron, the thing on your shoulder? So I went down the rabbit hole. From Etymonline, they say, chevron, late 14th century, from Old French chevron, meaning rafter, so called because it looks like rafters of a shallow roof. From Latin caper, meaning goat. The hypothetical connection between goats and rafters being the animal's angular hind legs. So goats have those hind legs that have the crook in them. So some ancient wordsmith saw the crook in a goat's hind legs while building rafters on their roof and said, oh, I'm gonna call that a goat leg, a chevron. Sure. Alright, I'm with you so far. From here on out, stuff starts to get pretty weird. I've never read the Da Vinci Code, but apparently there's a section of the Da Vinci Code where the main character is talking about chevrons. When I say I haven't read the Da Vinci Code, I mean I haven't read any of it except for this excerpt, which I'm about to summarize for you right now. So the guy's name is Langdon, apparently. Whew. So Langdon pulls a pen out of his pocket and says to his pal Sophie, Sophie, are you familiar with the modern icons for male and female? So this is the male and female icons that we're all used to. But then he says, these are not the original symbols for male and female. The original symbols are much simpler. So he draws on the paper a chevron and says, this symbol is the original icon for male. A rudimentary phallus. This icon is formally known as the blade, and it represents aggression and manhood. In fact, this exact phallus symbol is still used today on modern military uniforms to denote rank. The more penises you have, the higher your rank. Boys will be boys. We'll come back to that later. Because he moves on and draws the female symbol. This is called the chalice, he says. The chalice resembles a cup or vessel, and more important, it resembles the shape of a woman's womb. So I'm like, oh, okay, Dan Brown added this in his book. This is probably a real thing. Let me investigate this further. I used to be a librarian. I am a grad student. I'm fairly decent at Googling things, and really, I couldn't find that much about this. It all seems to work its way back to Dan Brown as the source. There is a section on the gender symbols Wikipedia that indicates the blade and the chalice, but it's not cited back to anything, and as far as I know, it was just added to the wiki page by a Dan Brown fan. It says that they're neo-pagan symbols for male and female, but I searched through a whole bunch of neo-pagan symbols and I wasn't able to find these two symbols as neo-pagan symbols anywhere. And by anywhere, I mean anywhere reputable, because there were a few places and oh boy, were they weird. So one such place that I found reference to these two symbols being the gender symbols is on this lovely person's SlideShare, which is a website where you basically share PowerPoint slides. The worst part is that the guy who created this slide, his name is Jeremy Britton, and he also has a YouTube channel, and oh boy, it is crazy. This whole group of slides is about binary sex secrets. So this slide starts with, what if the world is the Matrix? Codes in numbers, codes in plants, codes in men and women, codes in language. Digital technology meets ancient symbology. We're getting somewhere here. Going down the rabbit hole. Let's go down the rabbit hole, shall we?
What if we were living in the Matrix? What if everything that you see, all the birds, the ducks, the fishes, your work partner, your life partner, what if all of those were made up of ones and zeros as well? What if you were living in the Matrix and nothing was real?
So basically, this guy's whole theory is that everything is zeros and ones, like the Matrix, like binary in a computer. Everything is zeros and ones, and the ones are penises because ones look like penises, and the zeros are vulvas because zeros look like vulvas.
When he first pops out of the womb and the doctor says it's a boy, what is the doctor looking at? Well, by and large, we identify him as male because he's got a male thing. It looks a bit like a straight line. It looks a bit like a zero. How do we tell when it's a female? Female sexual organ is a bit more round.
So everything... So this brings us to this slide, which has to do with what we're talking about. Male genitalia suggested of the chevron, female genitalia suggested of the chalice, and then he just quotes, compare Dan Brown's work in the Da Vinci Code. Oh, okay. Well, if Dan Brown said it in the Da Vinci Code, then I'm pretty sure it's true. So, like, I get it. I get that this could look like an erect phallus. I get that this could look like a woman's crotch. But, like... And if this really is some sort of ancient pagan or even neo-pagan symbol, that's cool. I'm on board with you. But why can't I find reference to it anywhere except tied back to Dan Brown? I don't know, you guys, I'm just like really sick of people quoting The Matrix and Dan Brown and acting like it's really deep. Like, yeah, what if it is The Matrix? Oh my god! I don't really know what the point of this video is. I just kind of went down the rabbit hole and found out this crazy guy, and we started with goat cheese and now we're talking about vaginas, and I really don't know how this happened. Can I show you my shirt? Cause like, it's pretty awesome, right?